Well, thank you, everybody. Thank you, Giuseppe and Susanna, for the invitation. I would like to present a Portuguese case study about Dolmen de Antelas and Carapito. Well, this work belongs to a team. I'm the coordinator of architecture, but we have also Anibal Costa that is here, is the coordinator of civil engineer, and all the other, Pedro Sobral, Fátima Costa, Hugo Pires, and so on, that are the other persons that coordinate the archaeologist, the photogrammetry, laser scanning, conservation, and so on. One of the things that we need to understand about these two case studies is, in fact, what we see in the place is a small mountain, like a real mountain, just with an entrance that sometimes is we can only see if there is any damage in the place. And in fact, this image, at the upper part of the image, you can see more or less what they explain, the way they do this kind of artificial mountain that is a burial cave. And in fact, we have a center made of very big stones. And above this nucleus of stones, we have earth. And the different types of sands and also different types of stones. So what we have there is more or less this for the two cases, but in relation to Carapito, we just have now the stones, and in relation to Antelas, we have the stones and we have the small mountain. The situation is that both places belong to the 4th millennium of before Christ, and for that reason, one is one of the biggest Portuguese burial cave, and the other one is one of the best, with the paintings very rare. So both of them are more or less 100 kilometers apart one each other, but they are relevant heritage place in Portugal. I will talk first about Carapito. Well, the problem that we have with the COVID situation is that the most of our activities that were planned were blocked, and in fact, today, both places should have all the intervention done, and they are in first beginning. In relation to Carapito, at the moment, we have the municipality trying to buy some of the area around this monument, because all of this area is rural area active, and all the persons that live in surroundings, they pass by and they take the stones for the walls of the properties and for the houses and so on. So we have there some damage because of that along the years. And in fact, we had already the attention from the 90s with German archaeologists that came there, that went there and record all the designs that we have in these stones. And also after that, they try to block the collapse of these big stones. In fact, what they asked us to do, my team, was, first of all, to do a preliminary assessment report. What does this mean? In the Portuguese case study, the legislation says that before any intervention, we should do a preliminary assessment report that is a multidisciplinary report, and it is not only evaluated the state of conservation of the place, but we need already to say what exactly we recommend to do there, and all the steps of intervention, and evaluate the impact of that intervention. And in fact, one of the first step was to have all this structure in the laser scanning and also photogrammetry, and to understand exactly through this what stones have moved, because along the year some of them collapse and break, and some others have some movements, and could be, because imagine all of these stones, the most of them have 5 meters up the ground, so we need to understand exactly what is happening in terms of the conservation also, because the persons went there, and they should not have any risks. So the design project was reconsider again the rebuild of this Mamoa, of this small mountain, but in a way that showed to the persons how they were built in ancient times. This situation, because it changed a lot the way that all these decades the person saw the monument. So before the intervention took place, we had a meeting with the population and also with the stakeholders, and explain what was proposed. And in fact, they accepted very well, because they have the expectation that this can attract fundings and also opportunities of the tourism development to that place. So the proposal has this part that rebuilt the mountain, the small mountain, and another part that where the persons can park the car, but a bit far away of the place, just to not have the impact, visual impact. Also, we have a small river there, so all that parking car was outside the area that was established for the small mountain. Well, we established all the process of construction and also the materials. And the way, because one of the important things is that if any time in the future someone say, well, that is not appropriated, and we think that it's better to have another way to protect this burial cave, in fact, we can dismantle everything. So one of the things was not only to explain the persons how they built this, but also to protect, because in terms of conservation, we are losing all the drawings that we have in this stone, because it is quite open. There is no way to protect them without cover. So what is happening now at the moment is the archaeological site was already digged, so we know more or less what was the sand that was in the beginning was used. We are analyzing that. We are also analyzing in terms of structure, but in fact we had also some surprise, and some of them were drawbacks in relation of what we knew about this heritage. cave. One of the things is that in the past was used concrete that is this base that you saw in the image, and the concrete is one of the materials that are damage the stones, because in the Constitution it has salts that damage the stones. So this is one of the problems, and also the problems of to maintain these stones without collapse. So we have another drawback. It was a flood in the place that was not exactly expecting to have, but in fact we have to deal, and we have to make slightly changes to the design. And in the case of Antelas, what we are doing now is monitoring the interior cave, as in terms of temperature, humidity, but also in terms of cracks and of movements. We had the support of Zilili, that belongs also to this cost action, and went there, and all our experts work with them. And in fact, we already established a preventive measure that is putting a layer of waterproofing to not have the rain get inside, because we are losing also these stones, these drawings in the stones, and some of those stones already have cracks, and for that reason we are continuing until now the monitoring, and only after the monitoring we will do the proposal of intervention. In fact, as we could expect in an interior cave, we don't have a long difference of temperature, but we have a high humidity level all the time. And that is a real problem without ventilation and anything. So this is a real problem in relation to the rising dump and the deflusions that we see the salts in the base of the stones. In fact, both of situations as Mamod Antelas and Carapito kept the attention of the government, and in relation to Carapito, the Minister of Territorial Cohesion went there, and they are seeing what they can do and help, in this case, the municipalities to conserve these both monuments, and to establish, in fact, the route of megalithic that is, I put this map from the presentation of Pedro Sobral, and we can see all the caves, burial caves that we have along a very long way, and in fact each of them needs intervention in terms of conservation, but also the most part that was in almost all the cases is not done is this link with the communities. Some municipalities start something, but the most of the municipalities are not doing what we expected that they should do. And so I think if we can have in these two case studies a good engagement with the communities, probably this will be an example for the rest of the route. Thank you. I will pass.
No, because we have just 2 minutes.
Okay. Thank you.
Good morning. I am Carmen Solano from the Observatory of Rural and Local Development, the researcher who did the scientific mission for the Portugal case study. This case study was coordinated by Professor Tavares from the University of Aveiro. Today I'm going to present the objectives, methodology, the fieldwork, and the main findings of my scientific mission, which was conceived from the territorial planning perspective. As Alice was saying, Dolmen de Carapito and Dolmen de Antelas are two important monuments in the megalithic heritage. However, when these monuments are seen in the eyes of the visitor who lacks the social and cultural context, their importance is not well understood. What I mean is the level of fascination is reduced, and most of the times they are considered simple or unattractive. However, when visitors look at those monuments as the first forms of organization and coordination, and above all, as part of the evolution of humanity, it could evoke other emotions. Those emotions increase when the shapes, structure, and the possible use are explained to them, and when they hear the myths and the memories of the monument. For instance, Dolmen de Carapito is known by local community as Casa da Mora because of a local story, and Dolmen de Antelas is considered the Sistine Chapel of the megalithic heritage because of the high number of paintings within the chamber. Those emotions, memories, and relation of the local community with the megalithic heritage were part of my research. It was carried out from November 12 to 27 of the last year in the context of the second COVID wave. I mention that because, first of all, I would like to express my gratitude to the University of Aveiro, under the direction of Professor Alice Tavares, and to Felipe Suarez, Director of the Municipal Museum of Oliveira de Frades, and Hugo Lopez, Architect of the Municipality of Aguiar de Vera, who made this scientific mission possible under those difficult circumstances. Well, the scope of my scientific mission was a general understanding of the experience of preservation and promotion of the megalithic monuments of Antelas and Carapito in the context of the megalithic tourist route, Ruta do Megalitismo da región de Viseu de la Foz e Serve de Buga, and to achieve an holistic vision of the process of valorization of the tangible and the intangible heritage, as well as the involvement and empowerment of the local community. I follow a three-phase methodology from a territorial perspective. That means territory and megalithic heritage is considered as unit, and they are studied in all dimensions: economy, social, cultural, environmental, and institutional. To do that, I apply a qualitative methodology. The first phase was prior to the scientific mission, and it was an initial characterization of the case study. I made a matrix of first question and first ideas that allow me to organize the initial information. The second phase was the fieldwork of the case study. Because of pandemic restriction, was decided first to carry out the work in Oliveira de Frades on site, and later the work in Aguiar de Vera in remote modality. For each place, I carry out an actor mapping of the actors in these interviews, and I worked as analysis with the main informants. Finally, the third phase was analysis and integration of the information. I will have to say that since the beginning, I selected tools considering the eventual sanitary restriction, trying to have the possibility of exchange knowledge in participatory manner, adapting tools commonly used in the design of projects such as the Drafpo, which I did one for the Dolmen de Antelas and one for the Dolmen of Carapito. Well, as for the fieldwork, as I was saying, Dolmen de Antelas was on-site fieldwork following the COVID recommendations given by the health authorities. I carried out 7 interviews, achieving an institutional, technical, and citizen perspective. And also I have done a tour around the territory to understand the sociocultural context of the monument. On the other hand, Aguiar de Vera case study was entirely conditioned by the sanitary restriction, although the level of risk in the territory was low in relative terms. Any activity beyond the usual one to represent a risk for the elderly population. So all interviews were conducted telematically, and a total of 8 interviews were done with the informant from the 3 profiles: institutional, technical, and citizen. Well, about the main findings of the Dolmen de Antelas, Oliveira de Frades municipality has at least 7 projects about megalithic heritage in which Dolmen de Antelas is part, among which are especially important the following. The first one is the creation of the National Network of Prehistoric Art. The second one is the revision of the monograph of Oliveira de Frades. The number 3 is the project Patrimonios do Tempo. This project is one of the most ambitious because it integrates the tangible and intangible heritage in the municipality. The number 4 is the Megalithic Art Center that is designed as a core element of the tourist activity linked with the Dolmen de Antelas and integrates tourism and economic dynamics. The number 5 is a short distance footpath. This route aims to connect all the monuments in Oliveira de Frades and it works from the industrial area of Oliveira de Frades to the Dolmen de Antelas, and it will take advantage of the importance of the dolmen to promote the rest of the heritage in the municipality. The number 6 are the activities to involve the local community. In this case, the municipality promotes volunteer actions linked with the underground heritage, such as excavations, heritage cleaning, and tour guides. This way, local community can contribute to make some places accessible and they can know the importance of the underground heritage. The number 7 are an inventory of all heritage in the municipality using Google Earth Pro. They always update the Google Earth service with new discoveries or rediscoveries. About the problems in Oliveira de Frades, one of the problems of the place is not only pandemic, but also the wildfires, which despite being helpful to facilitate archaeological prospection and to discover new mamoas, cause trees linked with intensive deforestation, earthwork for reforestation, and uncontrolled growth of invasive species that damage the heritage. About the most significant findings in sociocultural terms about the scientific mission in Antelas, I could say that thanks to the fieldwork carried out, it was possible to perceive that in the village of Antelas, it is still possible to recover memories of the population who know the importance of the Dolmen de Antelas since their childhood. Several of them guided first international visitors and researchers from the entrance of Antelas to the monument, and these facts generate a deep sense of pride and connection with the monument that has been maintained over the years. In general, these interviews provide me valuable information, included a total of 9 photographs in color about the excavation process carried out in 1993, provided by Carlos Rosa after his interview. Felipe Suarez, director of the Municipal Museum, pointing out this material because it's significant as many details of this restoration process were unknown. So these kind of facts contribute also to involve the local community in the process of heritage recovery. As for the main findings about the Dolmen de Carapito, as Alice was saying, Dolmen de Carapito is one of the most impressive dolmen in the Iberian Peninsula, and Carapito as villa is noted is regarded for its environmental and ethnographic values. Interviews show that it has a strong agricultural tradition and population are deeply connected with the identity elements of the territory. However, the 3 main problems is the rural exodus, the population, and the unemployment. Moreover, there are formal and informal networks that promote change in the territory and that are strong involved in the dynamization of Carapito in economy and sociocultural level. For instance, Aqualaris Patrimonio Vivo de Carapito. Nowadays, the Dolmen de Carapito is being reconstructed to valorize the monument and rebuild the Mamoa. I show this image because it represents the most relevant intervention in the Dolmen de Carapito. It was referred in every interview and they affirmed that it was the most expected project. However, this project, it was now in progress, but in some part of the design will not involve the local community. Another aspect that interviews highlighted is the need to use the dolmen as a resource for the development of the territory and the need to create a network of monuments with other municipalities. Other central aspects that interest to the local community are the integration of the monument into local and supramunicipal tourist routes, to recover and promotion of intangible heritage by the local community for its inclusion, the promotion of the territory and the tourist offer, and contribute to minimizing socio-demographic and environmental problems in the municipality. In this line work the Ruta do Megalithismo, the Región de Viseu de la Foz. This route is promoted by the intermunicipal community with the same name. It's part of the strategy line of the program Valorizar, financed by Turismo de Portugal. It includes 14 municipalities and it connects 26 dolmens. 13 of them are classified as monument, 6 as national monument, and the rest as places with public interest. Also, the route connects 7 museums and 1 interpretation center. And well, this project is in progress, and this project aims to connect not only the monuments, but also the dynamics and the activities of the municipality in terms of the megalithic heritage. And it would be excellent to contribute research about this route in terms of governance due to the effort to harmonize the work of these 14 municipalities and other types of tourism present in these territories. To summarize, for me, the most relevant aspects of the fieldwork in Antelas and Carapito during COVID times has been the interest generated among the local community. Researchers under those difficult circumstances became, in a way, part of the commitment to work on the preservation of the underground heritage. Thank you.
Okay, if you have any question, as Carmen said, we're a little constrained for the time. She will give her presentation available for you, and she will be also available in the afternoon for more comments. Do you have any question, please? Any comment from the floor? Well, okay. Thank you. Please introduce yourself again.
I would like to ask you, Carmen, what is the first challenge you pointed out for the valorization of this area? Because I think working in a urban context with my site, I saw that yours are really isolated. So mine has some problems due to their environment, but I guess it's as difficult as mine, maybe for the opposite reason, to try to valorize the places that are so out of. So I would like, yeah.
Well, but my
the challenge, the first challenge, and yeah, the
my
question about the setting.
scientific mission was about the relation of the community with the monument, and the activities that the municipalities done in order to link the community with the monuments. And all the activities, the action and the projects related with the valorization is the action of Alice and the rest of the team. If you want to know, all this process is about the team activities of Alice.
Well, in fact, what we see in the place that both municipalities wanted to work together, and in fact, this cost action contribute to that, and they are trying to exchange some of the materials that they have, but they don't have the support that they need for tourism development. So they are trying to understand which process it is better for the specific communities that they have there, that are rural communities. They don't have many opportunities, and they are getting older. So we have also a problem of they want to keep people there, and it is difficult because in Portugal, the most part of the population, even in this year, the census, we have the span of 10 years, and in fact, we saw that all the population is getting to the littoral part and to the major cities. So all of these communities that live in the interior part of Portugal are getting, well, with almost no one. And in some parts, we visit, me and Tavares Costa visit some village, and they only have 9 persons. It's not exactly the case of Antelas and Carapito, but they face the same problem. So they are trying to see if this can be an anchor and it can be a way for them to keep the persons there. Me and Anibal Costa and the rest of the team, we deal with our expertise that is more in the conservation and the way that we can help the people, the communities, in terms of technical support to them for the conservation and in the surroundings, most of them. Because there is also, imagine, in Portugal, usually we have 50 meters around the monument that should be preserved and should be monitored. But the problem is that, as you can see in relation to Carapito, all the 50 meters that you have around is a rural area and is private, is not even of the municipality. So the ownership is another big problem that they have there. And in fact, because there is no obstacle in the legislation, they can build all around and damage a lot all the landscape in the surroundings. So what we try to do is try to block and try to recommend to balance this pressure, and that is why it was important to have that meeting with the population. For them, don't try immediately to build all around the monument to have some, some other opportunities, because it is not that way. We need, as in France, they have 500 meters all around the monuments, but we don't have that. So we are trying to balance as much as possible, but we are not from the field of tourism engagement and so on. So we just can support our part, that is how they can deal with the conservation.
Thank you very much. I think we have another question. Please introduce yourself.
Thank you, Susana. Hi, I'm María. To Carmen, during your short-term scientific mission, how did you manage to contact with the stakeholders under the COVID restrictions and also in a rural area? Because I think it's, as Mia said, it's a very singular case. And if you managed to establish some activities or some way to interact with them?
Well, the activities was planified by University of Aveiro under the direction of Alice, and the activities for the Dolmen de Antelas was on site, and later we worked with the community of Aguiar de Aveiro, specifically with Carapito people, and the activities on Antelas Dolmen was face-to-face. I carried out 7 interviews, and I get the profile from 3 perspectives: institutional, technical, and citizens. And as for the case study of Aguiar de Aveiro, it was entirely conditioned by the sanitary restrictions, so we can do interviews in face-to-face. So all the interviews were telematically, and I carried out 8 interviews, and again with the 3 profiles: institutional, technical, and citizen. And well, how to manage all these activities? It was difficult because just Felipe Suarez, the director of the Municipal Museum, had to arrange all the interviews and to follow all the recommendations given by the sanitary authorities. And all the activities, well, it was maintaining the distance, but some activities were done in the forest, some activities were done in open places. But at the end, it was a good opportunity to engage the community, because researching under those difficult circumstances became in a way to connect the people with the monument and connect the activities of the preservation of the monument with the interests of the people. So when they saw that in this condition we are continue working, they provide more information. In fact, they give me a total of 9 photographs in color about the process carried out in 1993. And for Felipe Suarez, the director of the Municipal Museum, was interesting, and it was one of the most spectacular findings because for the municipality were unknown this process, and thanks to the people, now they know more or less how were this process of valorization.
Another short question, if you have any other comment. Well, so thank you very much for your intervention.